Hello. So today I managed to deal over 1 billion damage in a single hit without the use of any bugs nor exploits. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you guys how I actually did it. So in today's video, I'm just going to explain two things. Number one, I'm going to tell you guys what gear I used to do this insane amount of damage, and also some other secret strategies which I used. And number two, I'm going to show some clips of me doing really high damage and also show how much damage I can do against other mobs. But anyway, now let's get into the video. Alright, so now I'm going to go over what gear I actually used in the video to be able to do over 1 billion damage. So for my armor, I was using 3/4 Ancient Storm with an Ancient Diamond Necron head, and the reason why I was using Storm was due to the Mage class passive, which is Mage stuff, which does more damage based on your intelligence. And for my pet, I was using the Ender Dragon pet. Even though it's tier boosted, it does still work. And obviously, I have all max talismans and all of them currently are recombobulated. And as well as this, I do have Catacombs 40, so that might give me a bit of an advantage. But now that I've talked about that, I'm now going to get onto what swords I was using, which is arguably one of the most important parts. So for my weapons, I was using 3 different weapons. I was using the Hyperion when there was non-zombie mobs, and I was using the Reaper Falchion when there were zombie mobs. But the thing which really brought up my damage over the 1 billion mark was sword swapping from my giant sword. And I'm going to explain now how that works. So on a normal hit with Reaper Falchion, I'm doing 800,000 damage. But if I sword swap, that's going to be up at almost 3 million damage. And the same goes for Hyperion. Normal hit, 465,000. Sword swap, almost 1 million. Now the reason behind this is because the giant sword has such a high damage stat, which pretty much just increases the damage onto this, which makes the sword swapping insanely overpowered. But anyway, now that I've explained that, I'm going to head on to showing you guys when I actually hit 1 billion damage. Alright, firstly I'm going to start off with the first time I hit 1 billion damage. So, as you can see right there. Then I managed to get to 1.24 billion damage. Well, finally I got to 1.25 billion damage, swapping from Giant Sword to Reaper Falchion. Now here, at the start of the run, I do about 370 million damage with Reaper Falchion and Giant Sword swap. With the Hyperion no sword swap at the end, I do 250 mil. With sword swap, I do 360 million, and 30 million against the super tank. At the start, I do about 56 mil no sword swap, and 65 mil, as you can see here. Now here at the start of the run with Hyperion sword swap, I do 111 million damage. And now I'm going to get onto many bosses. So against this Frozen Adventure, I'm just going to walk up to it, do some sword swapping things, and one tap it, but doing like 4.7 million damage to it. Shadow Assassin, one tap it, 10.5 million damage. Go over to this Angry Archaeologist, one tap it, almost 800k damage. Now if I go into the Frozen Venture, I'm not going to quite one-shot, but I still do an insane amount of damage. But I do one-shot this Lost Adventure by far. Now onto a Yellow Room mob, I'd somehow do 17 million damage, which is quite insane. On Blood, I'm doing about, no sword swap, I was doing about 600k hit. Though if I do bring to account with sword swap, I do almost 1 million. And against this giant thing, I do about 13.5 million, which I think is 10 times its health. And in boss room, I do about 550,000 damage to these Wither Skeletons. And now I'm just going to get onto Necron. So I don't have a clip of me soloing this, but let's just say I do a lot of damage to it, and I definitely did help these guys out by quite a lot. So anyway, now I'm going to end off the video. Thank you everyone for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw. I'll be posting more content soon, and my next video should be the video on how I got to Catacombs level 40. Anyway, goodbye, subscribe.